In this video, we will be continuing our lecture on uh, what is our lecture? Yeah, this part of our series on biology, we're going to talk about the trimesters of pregnancy. Within 9 months, the 9 months is divided into um, 3 trimesters. We'll be describing what happens in each trimester, and yeah, I think that's all for this video. We hope we'll finish in within 17 minutes. School starts 7:30. Anyways, okay, so pregnancy. First trimester, this starts at the first day of your last menstrual period. So this is between weeks 1 to 13. Week 1 to 2, you're not pregnant. Your body is preparing for pregnancy. And for week 2, the egg is released through ovulation. This is when we see the egg coming from the follicle of the ovary. Um, it is being expelled with the help of the fimbriae as well as the other one, the eye, the infundibulum. There. So these two help bring the egg out of the ovary and into the uterine tube. Actually, in this region first, before it flows through this part, to this part, where fertilization ought to occur, given that a sperm reaches that region and successfully fertilizes the egg. Now, where are we? Okay, so for end of week 2, there is conception, meaning sperm and egg merge in oviducts. And here, the zygote or embryo is formed. For week 3, the zygote divides to form what's called a blastocyst. The cells of a blastocyst begin to arrange themselves into two groups. So the first is going to be baby, and the second is going to be protective tissues. Now, for week 4, the blastocyst moves into the uterus, and implantation happens here. The blastocyst is embedded in the wall of the uterus. Now, for weeks 5 to 10, this is called the embryonic period. Major organs start to grow. The heart begins to beat. This is one big sign that a mother is pregnant or a woman is pregnant. And the placenta and umbilical cord, they support the blastocyst. So, particularly for umbilical cord, it's responsible for providing nutrition to the blastocyst. Now, at the end of week 10, the embryo at this point is now called a fetus. Now, between weeks 11 to 13, the arms and legs start to move, and the fingers and toes finish developing. Now, at the end of the first trimester, the fetus, now called fetus, is supposed to be 3 inches long. So yeah, what are the changes or symptoms in the body for the individual who is at the first trimester of pregnancy? First things first, periods stop. There is nausea. Particularly for periods, it's natural to think that in the first trimester, periods stop because during menstruation, there's a part where a woman is ready to be fertilized. I mean, the egg is ready for fertilization, and right now it's fertilized. So, the body is supposed to not be ready for. Isn't supposed to have periods at this point. So, yeah. For the third, we have tender swollen breasts. We have mood swings, constipation, weight loss or gain. The weight can fluctuate. Feeling tired is normal. One can crave or dislike food. In Filipino, this is, I suppose, called paglilihi. It's kind of a weird word for someone who isn't a native speaker of Filipino, but yeah. If someone says pinaglihi ka sa, for example, prutas, at some point the mother had to crave for fruits during a time in her pregnancy, particularly in her first semester probably. So one last is change in hormone levels. So that's also an important symptom. And one hormone in particular is estrogen, I believe, and progesterone. Either of the two, I'm just not sure which one specifically, is responsible for stimulating the mammary glands to produce prolactin. Wait, no. Maybe prolactin is the hormone, and what stimulates is the production of breast milk. So yeah. So for pregnancy, second trimester, weeks 14 to 27. For week 14, the fetus eyelids close, and and sex organs begin to form. Usually, upon the delivering of the baby, you can already determine the sex of the baby by the reproductive organ. Now, for week 16, uh, the the fetus is supposed to be 5 inches long. Lanugo hair begins formation. This is the hair on the head. And thumb sucking is imminent. It happens during this week. Now, let's go to week 20. The baby can hear and swallow. The baby is more active, fluttering. And at this point, at week 20, ultrasound can be performed to determine if you're pregnant or not. Now, for week 24, the lungs are formed, the heartbeat can be heard. How is that different from what I mentioned earlier? The heart begins beating here, but it cannot be heard during the embryonic period. But here, the heartbeat can now be heard. Now, for week 28, the fetus is already 1 foot long, 1 foot long. And for the symptoms, there's less nausea. There's darker skin around the nipple. This is in the breast area. There is belly line, linea nigra, or that's natural because the fetus is growing, so does the skin encompassing the womb. So stretch marks we have, yes, that comes with belly line, ankles or fingers or face swelling, and there's baby movement, baby bumps from time to time. So for the third trimester of pregnancy, this is between week 28 to 40. Week 32, the baby gains weight quickly. Eyes can now sense light. Eyelids can open or close. Bones are soft, but they're fully formed. It is known that among infants, they have more bones compared to adults. That's because eventually, by the time they reach adulthood, those bones eventually combine together. So they are less in number, but they are stronger by the time they reach adulthood. So I'm just not sure what's the specific number, but feel free to research that. It's an easy inquiry. So for week 36, the bone starts to harden. The skull is still soft though, and the baby at this point is in a head down position. That's the reason why when delivering the baby, the head comes first, not the feet. So, yeah. At the end of the third trimester, all organs are ready to function on their own, and the baby could be born any day. So, this is when you're supposed to be ready for delivering. Now, for the changes or symptoms in the body, there's shortness of breath, heartburn, ankles, fingers, face swelling, tender breasts, leak colostrum. Colostrum is, I think that's associated with breast milk. There's trouble sleeping, hemorrhoids, false labor pains, true labor contractions. This is what we call labor. This is, according to reports, it's painful. And yeah, that happens from time to time. There is, the woman would have her belly button stick out. So yeah, that's it for this video. More on patterns of inheritance for the next. Thanks for watching.